Hey guys, want to root your Android phone without using a computer, without Magisk, and even without TWRP? It sounds impossible, right? But it's not. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to root your Android phone using KernelSU. Unlike Magisk, KernelSU gives you much better control over root access because it works directly at the kernel level. It's cleaner, faster, and more secure for advanced root management. But here's something important to know. Not all Android phones are compatible with this rooting method. So first, let's check if your phone is compatible. Just download and install the KernelSU app from the link in the description. If the app shows not installed, that means your phone does support KernelSU. But if it shows unsupported, that means your device is not compatible and you won't be able to install KernelSU directly. Now the only requirement before we begin is that your phone's bootloader must be unlocked. If your bootloader is still locked, go check out my video on how to unlock it before continuing. Also, if you're using a Samsung device, the process is slightly different. I've already uploaded a separate video just for Samsung phones. Click the link in the description or on the screen to watch it. Alright, that's all you need to know for now, so let's get started. First, let me quickly show you which device I'm using and what Android version it's running. As you can see, this is the Moto Edge 50 Pro and it's running the latest Android 15. So if your device is on Android 13, 14 or 15, this guide will still work for you. Now the first step in rooting is to enable developer options. To turn on developer options, just open your settings, scroll down and tap on About Phone. Now look for build number, tap on it 7 times until you see a message that says, "You are now a developer." In my case, developer options are already enabled. So I'll just go back, open system and tap on developer options. Here, as you can see, OEM unlocking is already turned on, which means my bootloader is already unlocked. Next, scroll further down and turn on USB debugging. This allows your phone to communicate with another device if needed later. Once that's done, we need the boot image for our Android phone. But before getting the boot image, we need to check if your phone uses A/B partitions or a single slot. Just install the Treble Info app and open it. Go to the Details tab and check Seamless Updates. If it says enabled, your device is A/B partitioning. If it says unsupported, it's single slot. My phone shows enabled, so it's A/B. We'll need this info later while flashing. Now here's the boot image for my Motorola phone. You'll need the correct one for your device as well. If you're using a Motorola device, I've created a separate video that shows exactly how to download boot images for any Moto phone. But let's say you have another brand like OnePlus, Pixel or Xiaomi. In that case, do the same thing. Just search for your exact build number along with your device name and look for the full stock firmware. For example, here I found the firmware for the Pixel 6a. All you need to do is download it. Once it's downloaded, extract the firmware and look for the boot.img file. Now here's an important note. If your firmware has both boot.img and initboot.img, then you have to use the initboot.img. But if there's only boot.img, then that's the one you need. Simple as that. Once you have the correct boot image, let's move on to the next step, creating the patched boot file using KernelSU. So go ahead and open the KernelSU app. If this is your first time opening it, you'll see a message that says not installed or a download icon on the screen. Tap on that. Now it will ask you to select your boot image or initboot.img file. Choose the file you downloaded earlier. After selecting the image, tap on next. KernelSU will now start patching your boot image. This usually takes just a few seconds, so wait for it. And yes, the patched image is now saved in the downloads folder, usually named something like KernelSU patched.img. And here it is. As you can see, our patched boot image is ready. Now it's time to move on to the next step, flashing the patched file without using a PC. For this, I'm going to use another Android phone, in my case, a Samsung device. Let me quickly transfer the patched file to my Samsung phone. Now on your second Android device, go ahead and download and install the Bugjigger app from the Play Store. This app will let us send fast boot commands from one phone to another. Next, we need to put our main phone, the one we're rooting, into fast boot mode. To do that, first power off the device completely. Once your phone is completely off, press and hold the volume down and power buttons together until the fast boot screen appears. Once your phone is in fast boot mode, let's connect both devices using either a Type-C to Type-C cable or an OTG adapter with a USB cable. After connecting, open the Bugjigger app on your second phone. If everything is working, you'll see a message that says connected. That means your main device is successfully detected in Bugjigger. Next, tap on the blue floating action button in the bottom right corner. This will open the command terminal where we can enter fastboot commands to flash the patched boot image. Now, if your device uses initboot and has dual slots, use this command. Fastboot flash initboot A and path of the patched file. If your device has a single slot, use this command instead. Also, if your device uses boot.img instead of initboot.img, then use this command. Once the file is flashed in slot A, you also need to flash it in slot B. Just replace _A with _B in the command and run the command. Once the file is flashed in both slots, type fastboot reboot to reboot your phone. Your phone will now restart normally. Now let's wait for the phone to boot up. It might take a minute or two, so just hang tight. Alright, the device is now booted up. Let's check if KernelSU was installed successfully. Let me open the KernelSU Manager app. And there it is. As you can see, it's working. That means KernelSU has been installed successfully without losing our data and my phone is now rooted. Let's also confirm root access using the root checker app. So let me quickly open it and run the check. Oops, it says not rooted. Don't worry, this is not a bug. It's actually how KernelSU works by design. Unlike Magisk, KernelSU doesn't grant root access automatically. You need to explicitly allow root permission for each app from inside the KernelSU manager. Just grant superuser permission to root checker app. Once that's done, close both apps completely and open root checker again. And there you go. Now it says rooted. That means everything is working perfectly. And that's how you can root Android phone using KernelSU without a PC, without Magisk, without TWRP, and most importantly, without losing any data. I hope this guide helped you out. Don't forget to like the video and please consider subscribing to the channel for more Android tutorials. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.